Hey everybody, I'm Taylor, creative director here at Starform on Metalstorm.
I'm Tom. I'm a gameplay engineer here.
Cool. Tom, what are we doing here?
We're doing the Black Market Q&A. Questions from you in the community.
Man, okay. All right, so getting kicked off. We've got awesome question from Kurt and also something similar from Bengals88. The question is, will there ever be imaginary or fantasy aircraft? And when will a 6th gen fighter be added? All right, fantastic question. So we're really interested in the 6th gen aircraft concepts that are out there in the world. Those are pretty sweet, very exciting. As far as when we might do that or when we might get into fantasy or hypothetical, like very hypothetical planes, there are a lot of really amazing planes that existed in the world, concepts and prototypes that existed. So I think we got a lot of those things to get through before we ever consider doing something completely fantastical. All right, new question from similar questions from Justin and Yan on Facebook. What determines what planes y'all pick for the black market, and how do you decide the next coming plane? Great question. Okay, so it's complicated. There's a lot that goes into it. For one thing, we've had a lot of new players in the game, and we want to make sure that the black market planes can be purchased by as many people as possible. So we've been focusing on fairly low hangar level. You guys have all seen that. One of the other factors that goes into it is how many planes we have at any given hangar level. I think that everybody knows that there were kind of some middle hangar levels in there that were pretty thin compared to the others, and we've been trying to flesh that out. Another big factor that goes in is the role. When we're trying to sort of add or bolster more roles in a particular part of our hangar level territory, that's another one of the considerations as well, in addition to like which kinds of roles have we done recently in the previous black market events. So yeah, there's a whole lot of different things going on. And yeah, man, it's just an interesting conversation every time.
Yeah, I think part of that as well is, coming up with ideas that inspire us for these planes. We talk a lot about them being the superhero versions of themselves. And so if there's ones in particular that we have ready and we feel inspired that we have a cool loadout or ability for them, then those are obviously easier to push into production and make available for you guys.
Next question from Sully OG on Discord. Do you plan to release any upgraded versions of planes that you have, for example, the F-15EX? Yeah, why not? Sounds fun.
Yeah, cool. Moisture and Mangle both asked variations of, are there any plans for non-production planes like the Su-47, Su-75, F-16XL, YF-23? I think generally, yes, we're interested in those. Those are kind of, planes that are attached to the reality of what we're doing, and they are all, very cool ideas that we can gather real-world reference for. Mangle specifically said when the airplane suggestion channel was up, the planes that had the most upvotes were the Su-47, Dassault Rafal, and Northrop YF-23. Yes, we see what you guys are suggesting, and we are very interested in delivering you the planes that you want to fly, and giving them their very own Metalstorm identity and spin.
Yep. Perfect. All right, next up, we have a question from Galen Tome on Discord. How do you decide what hangar level a new black market plane will be placed into? Are there any plans to introduce new black market planes to the lower hangar levels like 3, 4, or 5? Great question. So generally so far, the planes have been chosen to be relatively appropriate for their overall technological progression level. So a lot of the older and simpler planes are at the earlier hangar levels, and then you kind of graduate to the most modern planes at the highest hangar levels. And so that's broadly how they slot in, new black market planes slot into the hangar levels as we go forward. But the specific question about, are we going to do any new ones for hangars 3, 4, and 5? Hangars 3 and 4, maybe not so much. Those are very early in the game experience, and we're still trying to make sure that we've introduced new players to the specific kinds of roles that we're looking for, and easing everybody into the new mechanics and gameplay before opening things up too broadly too quickly. So 3 and 4, maybe not, but 5 is when things start opening up a bit, so I wouldn't be surprised if we have some more that slot in at Hangar Level 5.
Galen Tome from Discord also asked, will each new black market plane going forward have a unique special ability like we've seen so far, or will there be a possible black market plane with a standard ability like flare reload or gun cooling? That's a really good question. Our intention is for all of them to have unique abilities going forward. We think that's a big part of the identity of that plane. And then looking back, we are looking at those non-unique abilities and kind of talking about is that actually what the identity of that plane is in Metalstorm.
All right, Galen Tome is on a roll. One more question from him. Can we expect more fantastical paint jobs for black market planes like we've seen with the J10, the Mirage 2000? Those paint jobs were amazing, and I'd love to see more of them in the future. So would we.
Galen Tome, coming back for more. Any chance we can get an indicator in-game for when the black market plane's price drops? Not everyone knows to look on the wiki for this information. Quick shout out to the wiki. And it could help inform players' purchasing choices. That's a really good suggestion. We will look into that. That sounds like a really good idea.
Yeah, nice one.
Mask 3D1 says, black market event planes, light, medium, and attack. When are we going to get a black market event interceptor and or heavy fighter? I don't know, but yeah, we know the list and we know there's interest.
Okay, we have another question. This one from one of our Facebook players. Are there any plans to add features that we can use to customize missiles on our fighter jets? Yeah, maybe that's something that we're really interested in as well. We know that you are too. That's a really fun part of the kind of fantasy of jet fighters is choosing your different missile loadouts for the different kinds of engagements. So that's certainly something that we'll be thinking about and seeing if there's a good way to bring it to Metalstorm. Next up, from Josh McCallop on Facebook. Tom, can we have the ME-262 fighter as a playable fighter?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a pretty cool question. I think that the original vision of this was it was all post-supersonic fighters. But
Tom, several of our attack planes are not supersonic.
Yes, that is a very good point, Taylor. I think that reaching back into history is a very cool idea. So we will see.
Tom is wrong. Reaching back into history is not a cool idea. No, the ME-262 is a super cool plane. It's obviously classic in terms of the jet fighter aviation history. It's a tough one, only gun armed and rather slow compared to a lot of other planes. So we'd really need to give it a lot of thought. Try to figure out what kind of role it could have and plausibly play against many of the other big boys in the game. But if we can find an awesome, comic book version of the ME-262, then yeah, you'll see it in the game. Next question is from Pyrite Flare, cool name, on Discord. Any plans to release the Grippin? You designed it already. How do you feel about the Grippin, Tom?
I love the Grippin, but I know that some of you have seen screenshots of it or videos of it in the game already. A model in the game is not a designed plane in the game. Mm-hmm. There is still a lot of work to do to make that ready for a black market event. I am so interested in doing that work. I love that plane very much. So it is coming soon. It is not designed.
All right, Bobby asks, when are you finally going to release the Rafal? Great question, Bobby. I think that's Tom just mentioned. having the model for the Rafal is only one piece of the puzzle. We really need to give it a lot of love in terms of nailing its flight model, its weapons, trying to bring something new and interesting both to the weapons and also especially to the unique special ability. So it's a big effort and a whole team-wide effort that goes into each one of these planes. So we are super excited about the Rafal. We know you are as well, and we want to make sure that we can do that plane justice. There's so much excitement about it that we really want to nail it. In fact, I think that we've got some particularly exciting special ability ideas for that one. Yeah, he knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, Rafal, we know you want it, and it will be in. Next up, a question from Coot2112 on Discord. We'd love to see a throwback event with biplanes, Spitfires, Zeros, P-51s, Yak-9s, etc. No. Okay, from Ghost of Kiev. Can it be confirmed that there will not be a black market release of the Chinese copycat J-35? An incendiary question, Ghost of Kiev. Tom, what do you think?
I don't think we can confirm that we're not going to release any plane. So,
You heard it here, folks. Complete lack of confirmation. From Ant211. Will any new aircraft be added only onto the black market in the future, and will they be added every 2 months? Tom?
I don't think that we've committed to any specific timeline with the community. I think that there will be times where we are, when we are changing how quickly we are getting planes out to you guys, depending on how they affect the game. I do think right now all of our plans are to release planes through black market events. But who knows? We may find new opportunities to introduce new cool content to you guys.
Tom, why can't you just go faster?
A man has to sleep.
All right. He has to sleep. From Luca Romano on Facebook. I want a helicopter. Luca Romano, so do I.
Cool. Thank you for all your questions. We love listening to you guys talk about the game. Thanks for celebrating our first anniversary with us. And Metalstorm exists because you guys are really passionate about flying cool aircraft in our virtual skies.
Yeah. Thanks so much, everybody. Happy anniversary. See you in the skies. Is there coffee in this? What is happening here?
Just tape this to a coffee mug?
Yeah.
Spectacular.